Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Data Talks with Lauren. This is a show we talk about emerging trends in the data world to enable people to stay informed. So today we are going to discuss how data comes in handy when we are trying to optimize our business processes. So what are the benefits that come with this? What role does data play in all this? Challenges that organizations can face when they are trying to optimize their processes. And then we'll also have a use case to enable you to understand where and how you can apply data in your organization to be able to optimize your processes. So with me today is a lady that wears many titles. I was introduced to her by my brother, and I'm glad we're having this session today. So I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Leonida Mutuku and I'm the CEO and founder of Intelipro. We mainly work with business and retail organizations to help them implement data-driven products. My background is in data science, machine learning, but also done quite a lot of work in the world of development and research. So looking forward to a chance to share some of my experiences with you.
All right. Leo, you're forgetting one title.
Which one?
Top 30 under 30 Forbes. My God.
Well, I mean, I say it's an honor, not a title, because one of the things that such honors provide is just validation for the work we're doing.
Okay.
So I don't wear it so much as a title, but more of like, thanks for recognizing my work.
Yes. Yeah. So, Leo, we can start with the role that data plays in optimizing business processes. You can.
Okay, so when you think about business processes, you're basically looking at any entity, any organization that is trying to make a profit. Their processes range from, at the customer end,
yes,
where they are actually providing their service, but even when you take a step back,
yes,
the processes also are part of an entire business's operation. So
yeah,
this would span the development of the product,
okay,
the HR, marketing,
yes,
other functions within the business, finance,
yes,
to enable the business to remain sustainable.
Okay.
So in all these various touch points, there's quite a lot of data being generated. Data about how the company is performing from a revenue standpoint.
Yes.
Data from how customers are taking up your various products.
Yes.
If let's say you're manufacturing, even just the entire process of producing one of the products,
yes,
logistics, etc.
Yes.
Those are different data points. And so when we talk about optimization, the first thing that comes to my mind
yes,
is the efficiency.
Yes.
So I think once you study all these various data points and look at the trends emerging across the various processes,
yes,
when it comes to optimizing, ideally what you're trying to do is make the entire business efficient,
yes,
more sustainable and more profitable. So I see data being a very important part of our business operations, because once you start understanding the various trends that the businesses, or rather the business has as it's trying to provide value,
yes,
then it's easy to make it more efficient and to increase its profitability,
yes,
and the revenue generated by the business.
Okay. All right. So aside from the roles, of course, comes with benefits, because by the time you're deciding, okay, I need to use data to optimize my process to make it more efficient and effective, then you need to have, there's some benefits that come with it. What are some of those?
I think I always say, if you're in business, the first thing you want to do is profitable. You want to make as much money as possible.
Yes.
And if you're efficient,
yes,
if you're using data in that sense, then the likelihood of you increasing how much revenue you generate is a good benefit. It makes your business basically grow and scale. Yeah. So that is first and foremost one of the biggest benefits.
Yes.
But the other is also how you provide value to your customer.
Right.
Issues of customer care, customer service are very important. It's what keeps a customer coming back to you.
Yes.
And if you are able to, identify what your customer needs,
yes,
and preempt it, then that's a huge benefit, because you keep your customers engaged and keep coming back to
yes,
your business.
Yes.
And the other thing I'll talk about is also just employee satisfaction.
Right.
At the end of the day, a business is not just the external entities,
yes,
but also internally.
Yeah.
And if you are able to understand how to be efficient,
yes,
your employees are happy to work in your business.
Correct.
And so they help you further, gain your goal of making money.
The customers come back.
Exactly. So it's very cyclical, very interconnected. connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any use case where you've developed a process, or rather you've developed a solution that helped a business to optimize their processes?
Well, we've worked with quite a number of businesses.
Yes.
And even before I talk about like one of our own use cases, I'd like to talk about just a general example that people can identify with.
Right.
I'm sure you probably have an internet service provider who is always maybe sending you messages every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing that I talk about, I like giving this example is because, for instance, I used to have a different service provider.
Okay.
And I stopped using them maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Why is that?
Of course, quality of service.
Okay.
So I use a different one. And up to today, almost twice a week, 3 times a week, they still text me.
Oh, wow.
So I've had to block their number because, and this is even after they've pulled up the equipment from my house.
Oh.
So they keep on texting me with offers of how if I activate my account, I'll get this offer.
Yes.
But it's a very inefficient way of activating customers.
Right.
And that's because, if they looked at their data, they'll notice when was the last time I paid for this service.
Yes.
Most likely I've moved on to another service provider. If they look at their data, they'll notice I don't even have the equipment.
And why did you even stop paying for their service?
Exactly. So maybe that is what they should have engaged with me on, as opposed to sending me blast messages every week.
Yes.
And so I find like it's a very inefficient way of activating a new customer.
Right.
But on our end, we've mainly worked with retail and financial institutions, and some of our main use cases is to support them to basically reach their customers faster, and also to be able to deliver their goods in a very efficient way.
Okay.
And so this tends to be in that space of, let's say, logistics, and something like route optimization.
Okay.
So when if you know about how logistics companies work, they tend to deliver goods in batches to various points, especially so that they don't have to keep on going back and forth that way.
But to save money,
exactly,
they're like, let's dispatch orders going to Ruiru
exactly
in one.
But you also, at the same time, in as much as you want to save money, you also want your goods to reach your customer in time and in a very short of a time as possible.
Yes.
So we have supported businesses, like especially for instance in this use case of logistics, to just look at what that route looks like, and how to connect them with the nearest truck or delivery service provider who can batch so you're batching at the same time, but also trying to get to your customer in the most efficient way. And if you remember your math from university or high school, this is called
that I can remember.
This is called operations research, basically.
Yes.
And ideally, that is when we talk about optimizing business processes. It's that, how do you get the fastest route to a solution to from point A to B. So it's applying that, but of course using a bit more sophisticated algorithms than an X and a Y graph.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So now we can move on to opportunities that a business can take advantage of out there. Maybe they're not even doing any of this. Like probably they're like your old service provider of the internet. So how can they jump into ensuring they're doing the right thing with the data they have to optimize their processes?
So I think one of the hardest problems that businesses face is defining what that problem is. So it's that I want to make my business run more efficiently, to optimize it, but I don't know where to start. And so I always advise businesses to first come back and ask themselves, why do they think their businesses are not running efficiently? So one, they'll be like, for instance, it takes us maybe 5 days to deliver an order when we could have done that in 1 day. It takes us maybe 1,000 shillings to produce something we're selling for 1,200. Maybe we could reduce the cost of production and increase the price because the market maybe will accept it at 2,000 shillings.
Okay.
And or we have maybe 60 employees, and there are some who probably are not being used to, their maximum. They're not maximizing their potential in the organization. So you have to look at what exactly is it that you think is broken before we dive into the data. Because once you have identified that problem, then we'll come back and say, okay, you have collected data around, deliveries, you've collected data around your sales, you've collected data
performance.
Exactly, the locations of your stores. So maybe now we start diving deep into that data. What does this data tell us? What are the trends around that? Then come back and now see, okay, what if we did scenario A, what would that mean for my business? If we did scenario B, what would it mean for my business? And then you apply, and at the end of the day, I still insist that businesses should try, should experiment. What you don't do, you won't know whether it works or not.
That's
so
true.
Using those scenarios that you've identified, it's very easy now to come back and say, actually this strategy was the right way, and now we've used our data, we've seen what was working, and we've applied a few changes to things, and we've been able to become more efficient in whatever the business problem was. All right,
moving on to the trends that businesses are taking advantage of, like for example yours. I know you've mentioned AI, which is a very big topic for you. So can you highlight that and how a business can take advantage of that?
I think a lot of business owners start thinking about using data, applying machine learning, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. Like I have to go back to school to learn that. No, that's not the case. I'm really happy to see that more and more institutions are training, young developers are training, even like trained, whether it's computer scientists, mathematicians, to start using these algorithms and applying them to the business use case. So it's no longer an academic or theoretical thing.
That I have to have done this for me to do this.
So I always say, I mean, if you can't do it, usually the cheapest, in as much as people don't think it is so, is outsourced. Like there's quite a lot of talent out there, and they can help you, take that next step to start using the data in your business. That's one. But two, there's always like, and that's where it's exciting even for companies like us, is we're building softwares to automate a lot of these processes, applying this AI and in a way that you don't have to go through a huge manual or go back to school to learn how to do it. And so taking advantage of those tools, there are quite a number, and I don't know whether you usually have a resource list somewhere. We can always share that.
We can share that in the description.
And just taking advantage of those softwares, and they tend to help you digitize your records in a good way, but at the same time they also help you start understanding your data without necessarily having to go back to understanding the math behind it.
And the math.
Exactly. And so I believe that using that software, outsourcing it, and as much as possible, even just taking advantage of the general knowledge, like understanding what does AI mean for my business, what does machine learning mean for my business. Just that general knowledge will help you know that this problem I'm facing, I'm pretty sure data can solve that. So it gives you a good starting point, so that even as you're asking your employees or the rest of your team to support you in that sense, you know what you're asking them to do. So I always tell people there's, of course, there are a lot of resources out there, but the best is always maybe starting from your industry, and starting from, if I'm in retail, what are the retail trends out there? There are all these softwares that are helping me analyze my data. Maybe I can check into that, I can ask my team to check into that, and so on and so forth.
And keep learning.
Exactly.
I think that's also a good one, because you understand these things are not sophisticated as they sound.
And they actually specialize to the point where you can get something that's specific for an issue around warehousing, very specific, or customer service,
or watch videos like this.
Exactly. Or watch videos like this. Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything I'm leaving out? That you
No,
want to say?
I think for me it's really to encourage people again not to shy away from data, from machine learning, from AI. I think it's a very exciting. I always say that it's these tools are not coming to take away your jobs, because that is also a fear that a lot of people have. But they're coming to help you be more efficient. And you know, the thing is, a lot of businesses, this is something that one of my coaches says, is a lot of businesses die from indigestion and not starvation. So indigestion ideally is that maybe things are not working right in the system. So you know, using some of these tools that are at your disposal will maybe act like a term, an actor. It can help, you know, smooth that journey inside your business. So I feel like don't shy away from trying out new products, and always say that again, if you just stick all to same old and rely on your own intuition, then you are pattering about without making progress. But if you start using data, you start using analytics and AI, then there's a way that it gives you, even if it's not an accurate predictor, it gives you some good insight on what to try next.
Awesome. That one for digestion and starvation, it's the first time I'm hearing that, and I like it. Anyway, we'd like to end it here. If you have any comments, maybe what you do for the your company.
So I think we'll leave in the description our company website, and I'll be happy to engage with you in future. And always looking out for to support new businesses. So if you believe that you have a data problem, we're your doctors.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, Leo. Davis, thank you for enabling this to happen. I'm so grateful. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.